You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
That's the wine and diner with kings and queens.
You're looking at the man. You're listening to The Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Should have muted that. It's Thursday, 6 o'clock. January the 16th, 2020. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, The Drew Yari Show. As you can tell, I'm still dealing with this cold that I've had since last week. Taking meds, drinking water as much as I can. It's not very fun, guys. It's a lot to deal with. Anytime I'm coughing, I'm just gonna mute. There's gonna be a lot. See, there's gonna be a lot of muting. This will not be a fun episode for me. Probably won't be a fun episode for anyone listening to all this hacking I'm doing. Those will more than likely just be a short episode. There's really not too much to discuss. I mentioned before, I'm going to, pretty much after this, I'm going to record with Mitch, Nate, and Lisa from Texas Podcast Massacre. We'll be reviewing Insidious 2, so that should be fun. And, yeah. So let's just jump right into the news. Oh, man. Ugh. This is going to be hell. If anyone doesn't really know what's been going on in the wrestling world lately, this past weekend, Tessa Blanchard, who was already prepping to fight Sami Callihan at Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill pay-per-view for the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. First time a female has fought for a man's world title. Not the first time a female has won a non-women's title before. You know, China was the Intercontinental Champion. So, this will be the first time a woman has fought for the World Heavyweight title. For a man. Tessa has been outed. She's been exposed, or she was exposed on social media, where she put up the tweet where it said, "Hey, women, let's try and..." Or I don't have the tweet in front of me. Jesus fucking Christ. Or she said, "Hey, women, let's all support each other. Good things happen." And to which she would end up being exposed by former co-workers of hers. First one was Allison Kay, who, if anyone doesn't know her, used to be Sienna in Impact Wrestling. She's also the current NWA World Women's Champion. She put out a tweet. You remember that one time we were in Japan and you spit on a female black wrestler and called the N-word. Where was the women's support on that? To which Chelsea Green, who current NXT star, was also in TNA, and I forget what her mantra was. I obviously haven't been keeping up with TNA/Impact Wrestling for a while. Where she said, "Oh yeah, remember that?" More and more women stepped up and tried exposing Tessa. Tessa did respond to Allison, saying, "None of this is true. I don't know why you're saying this. I pretty much went out of my way to be nice to you." Not really talking about the issue, which, it's interesting that she's telling Allison Kay, "I've always gone on my way to be nice to you." Instead of acknowledging what happened, she's really trying to acknowledge the fact that she's apparently been a bully. She talks more about the bullying rumors rather than the racism rumors. So there's that. The only person who's ever really... only two people came out of the woodwork to defend Tessa. Surprisingly, two black guys. Scorpio Sky, who's, part of SCU and AEW. And Moose. And that is literally it. So flash forward to Hard to Kill. She's in the main event against Sami Callihan for the Impact Wrestling World title. Wins it. What? My cat wants something. What? Are you gonna pee on my laptop like you did last night? This cat, well, not on my laptop. This cat pees on our bed while we're trying to sleep. Instead of just like waiting by the door. I remember the door was open. The door was open and this cat was dying to get out. Again, this is gonna be a rough. This is a rough episode, people. So yeah, Hard to Kill. Tessa wins the world title. No big celebration afterwards. Matter of fact, no women come out. The only woman that came out to support her was Gail Kim. Interesting. And then Tessa gives this big speech where, again, not really talking about the issue, where she says, and I don't even want to bother playing the speech because we've heard it a million times, where she starts off by saying nobody's perfect. To which, again, not really acknowledging the issue, not really discussing the issue. She hasn't really discussed the issue. Instead of just saying something more like, I fucked up. If I hurt anyone's feelings, if I offended anyone, I'm really sorry. I made dumb mistakes. I said dumb things when I got mad. I was drunk, whatever. No, she just said, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. A, B, C, and D. So now Tessa is the Impact Wrestling Champion. I'm kind of shortening this because this is kind of a dead issue already. I did listen to Booker T discuss the issue, or not so much listen to it. I saw what he said, and he made a good point. Where he said her being the Impact Wrestling Champion is is a really bad idea. And not so much, her of what she did or what she did and said. It's more so the fact of how you book her now. So if she's the champion, does that mean she's primarily just going to put the title on the line against men? Is she only going to primarily just wrestle men and not women? And also, what happens when she has to lose the title? Is she going to go back to wrestling women? If that's the case, she has to beat every woman. Because I don't know I don't know Impact Wrestling's current women's roster. Let me look that up real quick. Come on. Come on. Impact Wrestling roster. I have a fucking canker sore on my lip. That's bothering the hell out of me. Alright, let's get the female roster. Alright, so we got Alicia Edwards. Who the hell is that? So, alright, Alicia Edwards. Well, let's hurry this up, people. Oh, yeah, no. So, no. She looks like a nobody. You got Jessica Havoc. So, would she be able to beat Tessa? This just shows how little I think of the roster. I literally don't know anyone. I know names. Jordan Grace, know her. Doesn't she do intergender wrestling? Katie Forbes. Is Katie Forbes even wrestle? I just know that she's basically RVD's arm candy. What the fuck happened to RVD, by the way? He's just the definition of cringe nowadays. Kiera Hogan. Oh, by the way, Wrestling Soup is on early tonight. Those bastards. Kiera Hogan. For a second, that looked like Brandy. Alright, Madison Rain. I already know who that is. ODB. I like ODB. So is Impact allowing... is Impact allowing their talent to work on NWA now? Because I see ODB on NWA a lot. Or is it just like certain people, I guess? I don't know. Rosemary. What happened to her? Wasn't she like hot for was she like a big deal at one point and then she just kind of became nothing? I don't know, I haven't really heard much from her. Sue Young, I don't know who the hell that is. Taya Valkyrie, she's the current Impact Wrestling or Impact Knockouts champion. She's also John Morrison's wife. You got Tenille Dashwood, and now you got Tessa. Very thin roster as far as the women go. Oh man, I really should mute that, by the way. Yeah, Book's right. Like, you have her as the men's champion. Do you have her go out there and just fight primarily men? And you take the title off of her. Who the hell are you going to have her believably get beat by? If she can stand toe to toe in the ring with Sami Callihan, who's big shit over there, then someone like Tenille Dashwood should not even be in the ring with someone like her, or even like get any offense against her. If that's the case, have Rosemary go out there and fight RVD. Have Eddie Edwards in the ring with Taya Valkyrie. That whole company, they have to be practicing witchcraft of some kind. How the fuck are they still in business? Like, to AEW's credit, they would not deal with this type of shit. I mean, as much shit as we give Cody and Brandy, they would not put up with that kind of shit. If Tessa was in the company doing that kind of shit, apparently, because supposedly, the reason why she didn't get hired by WWE is because she had a bad attitude. She had attitude problems and nobody wanted to deal with her. And Impact Wrestling, surprise, surprise, were the only company that was dumb enough to give her a contract. Or not dumb enough, I don't know. Well, it's Impact Wrestling, so pick your poison. But yeah, her being champion is not very good. I mean, even before the whole controversy, why is it a big deal that she's going to be champion of a company that nobody watches? I mean, is it really fair to say that Impact is the fourth option or the fifth option? I mean, because WWE, obviously, AEW, New Japan. I know a lot of people watch MLW. I guess you can put Impact there, because Impact is one of the few wrestling companies that is actually on television. So, there you go. But as far as Tessa goes, I mean, is it fair to say her career is over? I mean, I don't know about that. But at this point, I don't see her going anywhere else. I mean, it seems like Impact Wrestling is the home for her. I mean, hopefully this is a way for her to kind of wake up and, like, change her attitude. Hopefully this is a way for her to kind of look in the mirror and go, I have got to straighten my shit out or else I'm going to be in this company for life. And being a part of Impact Wrestling for life is not something you want. Because to me, Impact Wrestling is more of a pit stop. It's not somewhere that someone, in my opinion, would honestly want to be for the long haul. I mean, RVD's there because RVD is like nearing 50, and from what I've seen, he can't really do that, shooting star splash, the way he used to. So he's here because of the schedule. So for a lot of older guys, going to Impact Wrestling is good for them because of their schedule. But if you really want to make it as a star, going to Impact Wrestling is not the place. I mean, Killer Cross, thanks to his lucky stars, he was finally able to get released from Impact, and he was being built as being the next big thing over there. And what did they do with him? Nothing. Scholar Bordeaux, she was being built as, the next big thing over there. What did they do with her? Nothing. They have done absolutely nothing for nobody in that company. So being a champion of any sort in that company, even the world champion, does not mean shit. It does not mean shit. The Universal Championship means more than the Impact Wrestling Championship. I mean, it's an incredible feat because, it's a woman holding a man's title. But does anyone really know? I mean, does anyone really know, and does anyone really care? That's really just what it comes down to. But, for Tessa, it's, I mean, the whole... this whole look, this just makes her look like a bigot. It makes her look bad. I mean, if not the racist thing, the bullying thing. The putting down other women thing. And just putting out that tweet was just, it was the perfect way for everyone to get back at her. And that's the argument, is that why wait until now when she's having, the biggest match of her career? Because she put up that tweet. And I don't really know Tessa. I didn't really think Tessa, was big into tweeting. Because I didn't really see too many tweets from her. And then she put up that tweet, and that's how she got pretty much exposed. Oh, and fuck her for blocking wrestling soup. How about that? I'm more pissed off about her blocking wrestling soup. And Mish runs the account. Mish was, very big into Tessa. He's very big when it comes into women's wrestling. And he basically just said, it's disappointing when you find out someone that you admired and respected turns out to be a jerk. That's what he put. And then she blocked him. I'm pretty sure that doesn't hurt Mish's feelings. Mish can deal with this. He can deal with this a lot better than, a lot of people can. But to me, that's just a cunt thing to do. To block somebody who just said, hey, I'm disappointed to hear, stuff like this about you. It's just amazing how quick her face turned. Like, she was a big face over the weekend, and she became a heel just like that. So, like I said, congratulations to Tessa, but fuck her. It's that simple. I'm surprised Sami Callihan hasn't said anything, but then again, Sami's kind of a piece of shit. Oh man, I'm dying over here. I guess going from one unlikable woman to another unlikable woman. Paige, who was dealing with drama from one Mr. Triple H. Triple H was in the news, where he was doing an interview. I don't know for what website or journal, whatever the hell you want to call it. He was asked about the possibility of Edge and Paige coming back to the company, or making their comeback to the wrestling ring. He had brought up Edge, And, he said, and I have the quote right in front of me. Give me 1 second. So here's what Triple H said. He said, "I'm a fan just like everyone else. I love to see Edge or Paige step in the ring and compete. More importantly than that, though, I would like to see them live long, healthy lives. Edge has kids. Paige, maybe she probably has some she doesn't know of. I made a terrible joke." That's what Triple H said when he, I saw the video. I think Triple H was just trying to be a goof. He was a dumb joke. Didn't really think much of it. Which kind of goes to show how he sees Paige. That he doesn't really think much of Paige if he made that kind of joke. So, which pissed off everyone, which sparked a lot of outrage. I didn't really think much of it. I didn't think it was hilariously funny. It was just like, oh yeah, Paige is a hoe. We get it. It's funny. Paige tagged Triple H in a post on Twitter saying, no wonder you guys make fun of me. My boss does it. Paige's boyfriend, who I don't even know his name, other reject in the band who plays bass, was saying, was calling out Triple H, saying, how dare the company have Triple H in charge, demand an apology, telling WWE to go fuck themselves. More and more people started to chime in. The Bellas. I saw what they wrote. Laughable. We will never see the true change in equality if we just see them as storylines. Changing a company starts on the top. Our leaders help set the example. Laughable. For us women, we need to all help. We can get help the respect from our coworkers and fans. We are all one love. Of all the people trying to talk about equality and women's rights, why are the Bellas talking about it? Why are any of the Bellas talking about it? Come on. Renee said something which, it's Renee. Give her a pass. Renee's a little bit more likable. Just don't say that to Triz. And then like I said, I even put on Twitter, expect a fake and phony apology from Triple H. That was probably written by Stephanie. He put, "I made a terrible joke, and I'm sorry if it offended her or anyone else. I was a bit perplexed." And then Paige tweeted about it, saying, "Obviously, I was a little perplexed and a little taken back because he's someone I look up to. He's always been very respectful. I think he got caught up in a joke, and I just don't think it was appropriate to joke about. It's just something I'm not going to continually talk about. I feel like people on the internet have done a pretty good job at it. He's definitely reached out, and we're going to talk about some things." End quote. I just think it was a joke. We're forgetting this is Triple H. Triple H, whose best friend is Shawn Michaels. They were in DX. At the end of the day, Triple H is going to have that. He's going to have that 20, 30-year-old sense of humor inside of him. He's always going to make dumb jokes. And that was it. It was a dumb joke. Should he have said it? No. Should everybody get all up in arms about it? No. I've been preaching it. Paige adds nothing to this company. How is this bitch even still in... How does this bitch have a job? That's just one thing. And for her boyfriend to get involved, it's like, dude, in not even a year, in maybe 5 months, she's going to be dating another guy. Paige is a serial dater. She came to this country, and then instead of actually working, she cared more about her personal life. What is it? She dated some guy named Kevin something, and then another guy, and then the whole thing with Alberto Del Rio, which again, surprised she didn't get fired during that time. She only got suspended. This company refuses to fire anyone, regardless of what they do. And now you got there's another guy she was dating, and now this guy who apparently this guy has kind of a criminal past. He was in jail for stabbing someone or something. So again, two of life's biggest mysteries in the wrestling business. how Impact has been able to last this long, and how Paige has been able to last this long in the company for all the dumb shit she's done. So, and she says she's trying to better herself, and you know what, bully for her, but it's like I think it's a little bit too late because she's not even 30, and she looks like she's 40. This girl has done so much to her life, to her body, to her face. She looks unrecognizable. And does anyone honestly really give a fuck if Paige comes back? Anyone. At all. I don't see anyone clamoring for Paige to get back in the ring. Again, she adds nothing to nothing. I don't want to see her wrestle. I have no desire to see her wrestle. I don't have any desire to see her on television in general. I don't have any desire to see Edge wrestle, personally. Much as I like Edge, I would not want to see him wrestle. I mean, yeah, make an appearance at the Rumble, make a nice little surprise appearance. After that, just do not come back. I come back to make little appearances at the bigger shows, but as far as wrestling goes, I do not want to see him wrestle. I don't have any desire to see old people wrestle. Like, I'll just put it that way. The point is, Paige needs to learn how to not take herself too seriously, because obviously nobody takes her seriously, not even her boss. Plain and simple. Oh, man. Again, I told you it was going to be a really short show today. I'm just not feeling it. I don't want you guys to deal with all this. All this coughing I'm doing. Oh, man. So the ratings came out. Let's take a look at them. I didn't watch AEW. Again. Surprise, surprise. Again, I don't care. It does nothing for me. Brian Alvarez usually tweets it out. AEW posted 940,000, while NXT posted 70,000 or 700,000. I watched the first half of NXT and then we went out. I saw the bit where Keith Lee came in the ring, and then the Undisputed Era attacked him and fucked up his ankle, and then that's when Tommaso Ciampa came in, made the save, and that's pretty much it. The whole Dusty Rhodes tag team tournament, it doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I really think they should stop doing it, honestly. I mean, because no Rhodes even work for the company. If any, AEW should be doing something like that. I don't know why WWE keeps doing it. I mean, I don't have a problem with tournaments, but what is this tournament? Who does this tournament even benefit? It benefits nobody. Because it means nothing. I'm just like tearing everybody apart tonight. Yeah, this, again, too many tag matches. They do nothing for me. And then AEW, I think they had, the Bash at the Beach thing last night. Saw a clip where DDP came into the ring, and yeah, she looked decent. I think he looked a little better than Dustin personally. I like DDP. I've always been a fan of DDP. Respect him. And then Jericho taking the ice pick to Moxley's eye. So now Moxley has that eye patch. I guess trying to make him look even more like a badass. So we can do that. And that's really all I pay attention to. I watched last week's episode of NWA Power. I'm starting to like Nick Aldis a little bit more. Yeah, I wasn't too sold on him for a bit. I don't know, there's just something missing about him. Now it looks like he's embracing the heel role a bit better. He's very good in the ring. Very good on the mic. The crowd booing him, calling him a coward because he didn't want to wrestle Tim Storm. I liked how he reacted to that. He had a good match on the one from last week. I didn't see the one this week though. I heard Scott Steiner is now in NWA, which that's really what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna try and watch NWA a little bit more like I used to. I like what I see from him, and there's just too much fucking wrestling. There's a lot of wrestling. Brian from the B Show asked me last week when I'm on the show, do you feel as a podcaster you have to pay attention to everything that's going on in the business? I do, but I'm always working nights on Mondays and Fridays, so I can't really watch Raw and SmackDown when it happens. And I have it recorded on my DVR, so I can just watch it anytime. I can just skip through everything. So I'm going to really try and pay attention to everything as much as I can. It's just today's not the best day. Again, you hear me coughing up a lung. There's not too much news going around. There's just the Tessa and Paige thing. Yeah, we can talk up. Oh yeah, Morbius. The trailer for Morbius came out on Monday. Morbius, Living Vampire, in case you guys don't know. I'm talking low because I don't want to talk too loud because it'll just instigate my coughing a little bit more. So Morbius came out, and it stars Jared Leto in the role. Jared Leto, for all who know, he played the Joker in Suicide Squad, which, the consensus is that he did not do a very good job in it. Granted, he wasn't in it for very long. But you know how lovely the internet community can be. So he's in the movie. The trailer looks very decent. I mean, it's not something to get wet over. I mean, wait till the end of the trailer. But it's decent. It kind of has Batman vibes to it. I mean, my girl had watched the trailer twice. Actually 3 times. Her time with her sister. And they all kind of agreed on one thing. There's the one scene where it looked like from Batman Begins. And I don't know if anyone knows what scene I'm talking about. It's a scene where he's in his lab. And he's in this small little containment area. And all the bats are just swirling around him. It kind of looked very similar to Batman Begins, where Bruce Wayne's he's down in the tunnel and the bats are just swirling around him. So again, decent trailer. At the end, though, it's revealed that it's all connected because you see Michael Keaton's character from Homecoming as the Vulture, Adrian Toomes. Thus connecting both worlds, which Kevin Feige and someone from Sony confirmed that Spider-Man will be doing some crossovering with a lot of the Sony Spider-Verse characters. With Venom, and now with Morbius. In the trailer, it shows Morbius walking down a street, and you see a poster that's a picture of Spider-Man, and it has Murderer spray painted on it. Which is interesting, because anyone hadn't seen Far From Home, spoilers, everyone thinks that Spider-Man is a murderer. Mysterio had fucked with the taste and made it look like, that Spider-Man was killing him. And also revealed that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. The only thing about that poster is that it looks very similar to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Not Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So that kind of raises the issue. Is he really in the MCU, Or is he in another Earth where he's dealing with another Spider-Man? I mean, why can't they just put up the actual fucking poster? If that's the case, why didn't you put up the right fucking poster? Come on. I mean, nobody causing problems for you. I mean, the talk is that they want to lead up to a live-action Spider-Verse with Tobey and with Andrew Garfield and possibly Miles Morales, which I pitched a very long time ago. So, the movie comes out in July. July 31st. Again, it looks decent. I was thinking, I wish they hadn't shown that Michael Keaton scene. I wish they would save it for the movie as a big surprise. And then my girlfriend's sister, said, well, they kind of need to make money because I don't think anyone really cared about Morbius. They cared more about Venom than Morbius. Venom is a much more popular character than Morbius. I get that, but I guess I'm old-fashioned. I like to be surprised. I don't like to know about things already. But, yeah, I guess it makes sense. You need to bring people into the movies. So, it is what it is. Last bit of news. Again, very short show. Crisis on Infinite Earths ended on Tuesday night. I guess we can just jump into the big cameo. You had Ezra Miller's Flash make a cameo on the show. So basically what happens is that in the last episode, the Monitor wiped out every single universe with antimatter. 8 heroes were able to save themselves and go to an area that's right outside the wave of antimatter, or right outside the universe that the Monitor can't even touch them, or the antimatter. Barry Allen's apparently been gone for 2 months, trying to access the Speed Force, but nothing's working. Oliver Queen is now the Spectre, who, again, I'm not too familiar with him. I guess he's kind of like a... I really don't know how to describe him. He described himself as kind of like a ghost. He's very powerful. Not too powerful, but he's powerful, from what I've seen. So he is able to unlock Barry's potential and tells him, I'm going to send you into different, parts in our past, but you need to find us quick to make everything work. So he ends up going back to Star Labs, and then he runs right into Barry Allen from the DC movies, from Justice League, from Dawn of Justice, from Suicide Squad, Ezra Miller. And Ezra Miller doesn't even know that he's the Flash. Matter of fact, Ezra Miller hasn't even called himself the Barry Allen from the movies has not called himself the Flash yet. And if you guys remember in Justice League, he doesn't even call himself the Flash. He just calls himself Barry Allen. So when the Flash on the TV show is saying I'm the Flash too, it's like the Flash, and they're just complimenting each other in a suit. Ezra's telling Grant, hey, your suit looks very nice. It's very comfortable. And they're touching each other's suits, and as he's about to phase out and go back to his own time, Barry's going, I told Victor this would work. So there you go. The first time a character from a movie, from an actual movie, a current movie that's still going on right now, like an actual star, is on one of the shows. And the talk is that WB had lobbied for this. Like, they had actually told CW, hey, we want this to happen. Can you put him on the show for, like, a little bit? And, it worked. They obliged. So, it was a nice moment. It was probably the best moment out of the whole series. I mean, that and Tom Welling. But other than that, it kind of goes downhill from there. I guess just to make it quick, they had probably the weirdest superhero fight scene I've seen. You had all the heroes just fighting off, what looked like, ghosts or relics, whatever you want to call them. And then Oliver, as the Spectre, is fighting off Anti-Monitor. He somehow beats him, and he gives his life to save everybody and to start a new universe. So, that's the end of the episode. Oliver Queen dies again. Yeah, it's, again, it still wasn't even making sense to me. So then the next show is Legends of Tomorrow, where they're all fighting a giant Anti-Monitor, and they beat him. Again, the CGI just looks shitty. It looks like something in a PlayStation 4 game. Cut to the end where you hear Oliver talking about multiverses, and you show new multiverses being created and old multiverses being reinstated. You see the multiverses for the DC universe. You see Titans in their own universe, which I don't know why they didn't include them in this. I mean, it would have been interesting, but whatever. You see, oh fuck, I'm forgetting the name. You see Doom. You see the Doom guys in their own universe. You see Swamp Thing looking like extremely comfortable, just sitting through the ring, which that was actually kind of a nice scene to see. And then you see Stargirl. Well, that was actually going to be a DC Universe show. Now it's on CW. She's on her own Earth. And you actually see a quick look at the Green Lantern universe. So, which is going to be on HBO Max, which I don't know why, but whatever. I guess they offered him a bigger budget. So I might just get that. I don't know. And now you see the new Earth, which is Earth Prime, which, as of now, all the heroes are on, like all the heroes in the Arrowverse, they're all on the same universe. Like Black Lightning is going to be in the same universe, Supergirl is going to be in the same universe, Superman. So, which, kind of makes sense. I mean, I'm fine with that. I was getting kind of tired of other universes, but now they're all going to be in the same Earth. And they've now started the Justice League. Which, again, nice little nod, nice little nerd moment. So, overall, the series I was not too crazy about. It was a little underwhelming. I mean, the appearances are good. I kind of wish we would have gotten to see Tom Welling as Superman again, or it's again more just like actually as Superman. I wish we could have got to see more of that. Brandon Routh as Kingdom Come Superman, I thought was pretty cool. He looked a lot better than Tyler, whatever the hell his name is. Which they've already announced the full series for him and Lois, which I'm interested to see how that goes. Hopefully they do something with Brandon Routh, that'd be pretty cool. But from what I hear, he's done. Like, after this season for Legends, he's going to be done. But, hey, the guy's been playing this role for a while, so he needs a break. And then I thought Arrow was done with that episode, but apparently they have 2 more episodes. Yeah, come think of it, 10 episodes? I think they're doing 10 episodes. I don't know, it's fucking confusing. Fuck. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's everything I have on docket. Again, I feel like complete shit right now. I don't want hopefully I'm better by next week. I have a vacation, put in my vacation hours for next week, so 5 days off, Royal Rumble coming up. So, and hopefully I'm feeling better by next week. I'm supposed to get my meds. So, anyways, guys, head on over to Wrestling Soup. I don't need to tell you guys that. Gotta shout them out. Shout out to DTKC, Trez, John Draper. Shout out to Texas Podcast Massacre. I'm about to record with them in about an hour and a half. Peter Position, Architect Podcast, Rupin Prime, B-Show Brian, and the Mark Report, Tyler the Trademark, False Count Radio, and that's it, guys. That's really about it. That's the whole show. Again, sorry I couldn't give my best tonight. I'm just not feeling 100%. And again, a very slow news week. It should pick up by next week. So, anyways, take care, guys. Have a good night and laters.